Shalom Aleichem everyone, my name is Nirdak and today we're back on our adventure through Shadowrun Dragonfall. Last time we left off we successfully raided the one place where Green Winters was supposed to be, and then it turned out he was, but then it turned out he was dead. Then we got a vault and a new person. Let's see. Your team makes its way back to the nearest U-Bahn station. 20 minutes later, you're on a return trip to the Kreutz Bazaar, leaving the filth of Dragon Keep far behind. But the image of Green Winter's twisted corpse continues to linger in your mind. You lift one of the discs that you pulled from Winter's safe to the light. Well, that wasn't polite. What was I doing? Oh, right, we can mess with people. So let's see. Sniper specialist or shotgun specialist? So far I've been using her mostly as a sniper. So I think that will continue. Cool. Hi. Let's see. You're an augment spell, electrocore. It's called Meltdown. Dietrich's Electrocore spell now strips 1 armor from affected targets. Problem is I never seem to hit with that. Our Blade Specialist. Dietrich trains further with thrown weapons, increasing his accuracy with throwing knives. That might be good, because this is great and all, but it never hits. So let's try with something that at least has a much better chance of hitting. Then I need you. Razor Specialist. Glory gains a melee attack, a razor slash followed by a kick. Pierces up to 1 armor, may do AP damage, cost 1 AP, cooldown 2. Or a Pistol Specialist. Gain a pistol ability, firepower round, does an additional 2 damage and pierces up to 2 armor. I've been mostly using her for her razoring lately. I think we'll go with that also. Sure. That you want to confirm missile? Yes. Cool. Anything else? I've confirmed, have I not? Okay, yeah. Why do you still show I can do something? Okay. You just hadn't loaded or something. Say I could talk to someone over here. I thought it was you. Huh. Oh, now I can. Let's talk maybe, the one chick. Hello again, mein Freuden. What can I do for you? How's Silk doing? Yes, she mentioned that you had sent her. I don't know what you told her, Lazy Z, but whatever you said, it worked. Silk's determination is truly inspiring. Cram habit is difficult to beat, but I don't doubt that she'll make it. Cool. That's good. I'm happy then that that worked. I guess I could talk to you. So that you... Let's see. The old troll putters about his artificial joints, complaining loudly. He seems heavier today than when you first met, and he takes your approach as a reason to seat himself and rest. I understand they put you in charge of Monica's outfit. Word travels fast around here. I'm the most qualified. Looks like we're both carrying heavy burdens. I hope that doesn't sound condescending. I suppose so. We'll see what it gives out first. Your will or my plastic knees. You need something from me? How are people handling the loss of Monica? I'd like to hear a little bit more about you. How are people handling it? I think most are still in shock, but just you wait. That'll pass, and the panic sets in. That's what I'm worried about. Few folks of any real discipline around here. Monica kept them calm by keeping them safe. Now that she's gone, they're going to start to realize what a heap of misery this blasted city can be. You don't seem too worried. You consider yourself a man of discipline. What about you? How are you feeling? So far, he doesn't sound too overly worried. Already died once, every day since is just a bonus. A tired, painful bonus. I am really interested now. Really doesn't matter that much to me, but to the rest it's going to be a different story. Monica kept this place in one piece. She read the flux like a bird reads the wind or a fish reads the current. Without her, there's no telling what's going to happen. Anything else you want to draw about? I want to know more about you. Let me guess. You want to know how I lost the legs. If you're offering. Might as well hear it from me than one of the addle-brained kids running about. Lost the... Really, car? Okay. Lost the legs during the First Euro War, if you must know, in a bombing. No, you need something else from me? Nope, guess not. I am actually kind of worried about everything falling apart here. Because if stuff falls apart here, then I won't get any help. Hi. Blitz looks up at your approach. The table beside him is littered with cigarette butts, and a data jack cable dangles from a portable terminal set up by his side. Hey, Chief, you need something? Just checking in. You doing alright? Now that you're settled in, I've got some questions. Any thoughts about last night's run that you'd like to share? Sure. His smile widens. Great, Chief. I'm doing just great. It's real nice to be able to wind down and relax for a change. No more worrying about this ganger or that ganger sneaking behind me and slipping a knife between my ribs. Slaps the table with a grin. It's a good change, Chief, I've gotta say. No one is ever really safe, not when gangs are involved. Don't let your guard down. Good, then you can focus on getting our current job done. Glad to hear it. We're happy to have you on the team. I mean, yes, glad to have him on the team. That seems ruder than necessary, but not being safe always does seem the most practical. We're going to be polite. Of course you are. He gestures at himself with a flourish. What's not to be happy about? Now that you've settled in, I've got some questions. That's about last night's run. Let's go with thoughts. Well, Chief, I wasn't around for most of it, but you got me out of that hotel, and for that, you've got my eternal thanks. Now that you're all settled in, I've got some questions. Blitz glances wistfully back at the terminal on the table, then turns back with a sigh of resignation. I suppose. Try to keep it short, okay, Chief? I got things to do. How long were you in Dragonkeep? I suppose that can wait. Let's go with how long. I ended up there after the anarchist revolution of 39. I was just a kid back then, too young to realize how good I was, how much money I could have made working the shadows. He shakes his head, a wistful expression on his face. And so, being young and dumb, I fell in with the gang crowd. That was that. You're a member of a drug gang, which I trust you. Suppose that can wait. I don't know, I did save him. And just because you are a member doesn't mean you necessarily agree. I guess that's all. Thanks. He turns back to his terminal. Take care, Chief. Huh. There's 2 arrows to follow. One's leading off this way. What's this way? It's Monica's terminal. Now, why is that a mission thing? A workstation and mission computer. The command center of your team's operations, and your last link to the memory of Monica Schaefer. Her thoughts and words live on in the machine. At times, it's easy to forget that she's gone. See, the cool blue tone of the workstation's main menu fills the screen. A blinking message in the upper right corner notifies you that you have 0 unread messages. I don't think we did all these last time. Why is it a mission thing? Checked it? No. Oh! I have karma I need to fill in. Should probably do that before I forget. Let's see. Determines resistant physical damage. That might be useful. But I only have 9. Used to calculate the chance to hit in ranged combat. Reduces the chance to be hit. That would also be good. Why did you do that? Go back. I think I might take quickness over body. See, ranged combat. Main component used to calculate the chance to hit with ranged weapons. Increases the skills unlocked. That would also be good. And pistol's up there and I have been using it. Chance dodge. Help to reduce the chance to be hit. Would also be good. Strength used to calculate the chance with melee or thrown. Neither of which I focus a lot on. Used in decking or rigging. I don't really do a lot of that. But biotech would be useful. That would get me a 3. Anything else? Drone control, willpower. Used to calculate the chance to hit with a magical attack. Not really something I focus on either. Used to calculate the chance to control spirits and chance to hit with conjuring spells. Unlocks etiquette. Etiquette would be useful. Oh yes, a new etiquette. So far the most... Oh. I think I've so far seen corporate and gang as the most next used. I think we'll go with gang if we're gonna have to be dealing with them. Corporate. Oh, we'll go with gang. Now it leaves me with 5. Don't really do much with conjuring. What do you do? Nothing much, but you'd lead me on the path to getting another etiquette. Good, but not necessarily necessary. Go with the intelligence. Strength, dodge. Range combat. Don't have enough for quickness now. Increases the chance to hit, and that is pretty darn good. Reduces the chance to be hit. Oh, we'll go with the chance to hit. And we'll confirm. And stop that. Cool. So that was one thing. Hi. Let's talk to you. What do you have to say? News travels fastly, ZZ. It seems a small group of well-armed assailants entered Das Kesselhaus Hotel earlier today and cleaned house, so to speak. Ups. If you believe the tale, the controlling gang was eliminated down to the last man, and the assailants strolled calmly out the front door, leaving a rather interesting power vacuum for the residents of Dragonkeep in their wake. Yeah, that's gonna be a problem. Hemsel fixes you with a hard stare. You wouldn't know anything about this now, would you? See, and this is why kind of wish I had that other... well, actually, no, I can't say that. I never considered it academic. They were in my way. It's unfortunate, but I didn't have a choice. I had to get through them to get to Green Winters. Gang? What gang? But he's right. That power vacuum is going to be a problem. It's unfortunate, but... Oh... Yeah. Well, perhaps there was no other way. I applaud your dedication to completing the mission, but I would recommend subtlety where possible. Mass bloodshed is not always the best means to an end. But enough of this. We have more pressing matters to discuss. He's right. If I hadn't spent all that money on health packs, it would have gone down a lot smoother. Anyway, but enough of this. We have more pressing matters to discuss. Emsel's expression is harder than you've seen it before. When he speaks, his voice is grim. Eager has told me of Green Winter's death. She said that he died in the same manner that Monica did. It's even worse. She shouldn't have done that. Speaking for the team is my job, not hers. I mean, that's right. But it wasn't a pretty sight. Amsel nods gravely. I know that you and Eager have had your differences. I will tell you that she was badly shaken by the sight of Winter's body. She also mentioned that you found something in Winter's safe. A package full of very old discs. May I see them? Sure. She shouldn't have said that, though. Good God. Gingerly, Amsel lifts the disc from the bundle and holds it up to the light. Slowly, he begins to turn it in his hand, causing rainbow patterns to shimmer across its surface. I haven't seen one of these since I was a boy. This is a DVD/RW? A data storage medium from the mid-2000s. I'm amazed that Winters was able to find a device that could play it. Do you know where we can read these things? He puts down the DVD in his hand and quickly inspects the others. The first disc that I looked at might be readable. The others are damaged, some severely so. I have my doubts about them. For now, let's concentrate on the undamaged disc. There is a little shop outside, the Data Haven. Talk to the proprietor, Malit Hole? She might be able to help. Tell her to put the cost of the device on my account. It might come as a shock, but no. We'll do it. It's not that difficult, and I'm interested in better gear. Let's see, talk. Yep. What is that button? Whatever. Out the door. Be a good chance to explore further, because I'm pretty sure they blocked off the area with the statue. Yeah. There was a statue up here. Now it's blocked off. Was this the area with the statue? Could have sworn it was, but now I'm not certain. Anyway. All the way over here. Which isn't that far. Oh, I've talked to you before. Let's see. Millet Hole. Welcome back. What can I do for you? Well, also that. I am curious if you could fix that. Yeah, probably. It might take a bit of doing, though. I love working on these old core drones. Can't make you any guarantees, but either way, it's on the house. I'll leave it in your hands. I'll start on it right away. See you later. Hang on. Real quick. Yes, go on. Then I'm listening. Looking for something that can play back a DVD. I need some tech. I got the drone fixed. That's ridiculous. The market for something exotic. What kinds of tech? Alright, so DVD. Really? That is old tech. Very old, in fact. Just a moment. I'll go look. She turns to rummage through a bin of obsolete components at the back of her stall. Ah, yes, here we are. The dwarf wrestles a mid-sized flat-screen display out of the bin. This display has old enough hookups to connect to a DVD player. RCA, you know? Vintage. The player itself, though, this I do not have. You might wish to try your luck down at the junkyard. There's a scavenger there, a primitive man with a crude disposition. If anyone here in the Kreutz Bazaar can help you find your DVD player, he can. But he will almost certainly attempt to overcharge you for it. She takes a deep breath and smiles up at you. But you are not here for gossip. Shall we conclude our business? I could give you the display for, say, 200 new yen? Paul said to put it on his account. Ah, very well. I will have it packaged up and delivered to Herr Amsel straight away. Best of luck finding your DVD reader. I wish you well. Cool. Where is the junkyard? I don't think I've been there yet. I want to know, is the statue up this way? I don't actually remember coming this way before. Wait, no, yes I have. This is Nope, I was mistaken. This is where the statue is. Creepy booth is still there. Kinda curious if it's running. Hi. Nope. Guess there's nothing to it. Anyway. Down to the junkyard. Down... There we go. Huh. Der wine killer. So, the wine cellar, yeah? Or something like that, at least. Hi. A young woman stands at the bar, smoking a cigarette. You've seen her face before. Lucky Strike, one of the mercenaries from Monica's files. A plume of blue smoke spills from the corner of her mouth as she turns her attention to you. Hey. The distinctive circuit pattern tattoos that line her face shimmer and pulse with light. You need something? I don't believe that we've met. I'm Lazy Z. I've gotta run. I'll go with that. Yeah, I know who you are. She takes a drag on her cigarette. How are you holding up, champ? I heard what happened to your boss. It happens. Running the shadows is a dangerous line of work. She had a name, you know. She wasn't just my boss, she was my friend. I don't remember her name coming up in the file, I'll be honest. She smirks, then lets the smoke escape from the corner of her mouth. Honestly, I'm doing worse than normal. Yeah, well, sorry for your loss and all that. A lot of people are still torn up about it. So, you need something, or are you just going to stand there staring? Why do you bring up Monica? Did you know her? I met her a couple of times. Seemed nice enough. She takes another drag on her cigarette. But I mostly knew her by reputation. You can't live in this Kia's... I think that was right. I've forgotten now. Without hearing about the Queen of the Kreutz Bazaar. She pauses and slowly lets the smoke escape through her nostrils. Can't say that I was a fan. Oh, there, Monica didn't control the Kreutz Bazaar. That's your prerogative, but then you didn't really know her. You really need to brush up on your social skills. I don't know. I wouldn't say she controlled it. Didn't she? She locks eyes with you. Then why did the place start falling apart the second that she got geeked? Kicked? I don't know. She takes another drag on her cigarette. The smoke spills out of her mouth as she speaks. Either Monica controlled the Kreutz Bazaar, or she had her fingers in so many pies that she might as well have. Came out to the same thing either way. Lucky Strike taps out her cigarette and leans towards you, a predatory grin on her face. You and your friends, you followed Monica, too. Obeyed her orders without questions, right? She was our team leader, of course we listened to her. Not without question, there was some debate. It's generally how teams work, yes. Not without question. And at the end of those debates, Monica would put her foot down and you'd wind up doing whatever she said, right? She smirks at you. Don't bother answering. It's a rhetorical question. For such a rabid anarchist, your friend seemed awfully comfortable being in power. Kind of a contradiction in terms, don't you think? Yes, actually, all of your points are valid. Fair point, but you aren't going to change my opinion of Monica. No, I don't, and I don't think that you know a thing about who Monica was. Done. She did, I'll give it that. Fair point. I wasn't trying to. Remarkable thing about living in a free society. You're all allowed to have different opinions. She shrugs. Don't take it personally. I'm sure that you wouldn't like my friends either. One last thing, Lazy Z. I can't stop you from stepping into Phil Schaefer's shoes. You're already doing it, making all the same moves that she did. A word of advice, though. Don't take too much on yourself. Spread the responsibilities around. Good of you to care. She turns away. I don't, but in a place like this, stacking too much power on any one person is dangerous. Not just for that person, but for everybody. The last thing that we need is for you to eat a bullet and for this whole place to fall apart again. And I mean, she's right. Sign of a good leader is to spread out responsibilities and appropriately delegate tasks. Where am I going? Do I want to talk to you back here? Doesn't look like it.
I don't know where I'm going. I thought this was the right way.
Now I'm not sure. Maybe it's that door back there? Huh. We'll try. All the way in the back. Past the people to talk to. Are you? Huh. What am I doing? Oh. I'm supposed to be looking in the junkyard for a DVD, not discussing. Why didn't it light up when I was over here? Either something's there, or I'm just being paranoid. Hi. Yep, never mind. It was just lighting up for lighting up's sake. It's really weird. Let's go around this way. I thought... Right, that was the clinic where I spent all the money. I've talked to you. It's surprising how few people you can talk to. Oh. Oh. Then what was that up there? And why did it lead me there? Hi. Shrotty? I'm not sure. A stout old man looks up from whatever old tech he's tinkering with to squint at you through thick old-fashioned glasses. He pushes them up with an oil-stained finger as he straightens up to nod at you. He speaks with a gruff but well-meaning tone, heavily accented with German tonality. Guten Tag. What can I do for you? Millet tells me you're the man to speak to about DVDs. Yeah. That old shrew sent you my way, huh? I'm not sure how to pronounce that name. For now, we'll name him Scotty. Scotty's smile broadens. Well, wonders never cease. Well, introductions are in order, I suppose. Scotty Buckman? I'm not sure. At your service. The old man raises a grimy hand in salute. Need something salvaged? Some old components? I don't know that either. I'm indeed your man. Wonderful. How about that DVD player? Well, let's see. I think that I've got something that'll work for you. Scotty rummages through the junk heap on the table behind him. A few seconds later, he snatches a battered plastic lozenge shape from the pile. Here we go. An old Korean player that I dug up last week. 2010 model. Real beauty. Scotty's smile broadens and he gives you a conspiratorial wink. I fixed her up and got her running, but without any discs to read, I've mostly been using her as a paperweight. Sounds like what I'm looking for. How much do you want for it? Scotty glances back at the DVD player, a rueful expression on his face. Well, I'll admit, I'm a little loath to part with her. There's plenty of folks out there who'd really appreciate an older player such as this, and I don't know what your intentions are for it. I suppose, given the time and trouble I took putting her back together, that I'd be willing to part with her for, say... Sky's eyes darted over your gear, a calculating expression on his face. About 500 new yen? Nope. Hand it over. I got a better idea. How about you give... No. You're not being mean. That's ridiculous. I could buy a tri-vid player for that. Short on cash right now. Can I offer you something in trade? The old man pauses for a moment, considering. I'll tell you what. A few months ago I had well, call it a difference of opinion with the Buragazi fellow from the soy calf shop. He hasn't let me into his establishment since, and I'd sell my mother for a decent cup of coffee. You get me a cup of Turkish coffee, the real stuff, not that fake junk, and I'll give you the DVD player. Sound like a deal? Sure. Let's go see how much that coffee is. That's all the way over here. Is that the right place? It's definitely around it. Yes? No? Is it further this way? It is further this way. Oh, hey! I've never actually talked to you specifically. Hi. Kami. She tips in an invisible hat. Hey there, remember me from the cafe? Name's Kami. Are you looking for something? Well, who you are for one thing, none of your business. Depends, is there anything I should be looking for? She titters. Volunteering information? That's bad for business. Unless old Hug wants me to tell you something, but that's rare. I'm just his ears and hands outside the cafe. He's got enough of a voice all by himself. He doesn't seem to be afraid to use it either. So what's the story between you? Yeah. Not in the slightest. Since you've just moved here, I have some advice. If you haven't guessed already, he's got fingers in a lot of pies. I've seen what happens when he doesn't approve of someone or something. Ticking him off, it can't be worth it. And at the very least, you won't be able to get good coffee in this town again. So what's the story? She grins and winks. Mischievously, yeah? Oh, surely you've guessed. Didn't he say it was his niece? I'm pretty sure that... Okay, there we go. I can't pull a fast one on you, can I? Well, I'll tell you the real story sometimes. How about that? Right now, though, I have some errands to run. Come over sometimes and we can chat over hookah or something, yeah? She lazily tips an invisible hat at you before turning her focus to a comm on her wrist. Huh. Anyway. Time to get coffee. And... Hi. Coffee, please. The Turk leans into you, keeping his voice low. I have information regarding that matter my people were looking into. Effendim. The one involving the surveillance device on my data tap. Old Tug, I've been waiting for my coffee for nearly an hour already. Are you growing the beans out back? Coffee vendor shouts. Can't you see I'm speaking to an honored guest, you tower of quivering corpulence? His voice lowers again. Now then, as I was saying, we're fortunate that you happened upon that surveillance tap when you did. The people on the other end were planning a very bad thing, to be sure. Very bad thing? Quite bad, yes. Monica Schaefer was an important member of this community, more than most were aware of. This Kies was under her protection. You know how it is in the Flux of Indim. The governance of a place like this is tenuous at best. You never know who is going to be in charge from one day to the next. Monica was a stabilizing force, and not just because she was dangerous. She was smart and funny and wise, and she had a way with people. They wanted to support her, to follow her, because they loved her. When she was killed, it left an opening for others. It would have meant bloodshed and pain if this council had been allowed to continue their plans. But they did not. We saw to it, you and I. Are they dead? What happened to them? Indeed, we'll go with what happened. They have been reasoned with. Let us simply say, the matter is settled and leave it at that. The Quartz Bazaar will maintain its stability a while longer thanks to us. Oh, cool. Now then, what can I do for you, Effendim? Would you like some coffee, perhaps? Coffee as in real coffee? Yes, for individuals of refined taste, I offer genuine bean coffee from my native Turkey. The coffee owner looks you in the eye. The tone of his voice grows low and serious. This is a top-shelf item, my friend, and not for the general public. Only for those few discerning connoisseurs who can properly appreciate it. Oh, I just need my caffeine fix. I think I'm the sort who can appreciate it. It is hand-picked by my family in Turkey, a true delicacy of the sixth world. This was considered a luxury even before the awakening, when bean coffee was everywhere. Every street corner, they say. Burakazi leans in close, lowering his voice to a conspiratorial whisper. Again with the conspiratorialness. Long hours in the shop have perfumed his body with the commingled scents of coffee, incense, and applewood tobacco. Trust me, if your coffee experience has been limited to soy calf, you must not deny yourself this opportunity. Did I not just say that I wanted it? Thanks. This is a specialty item delivered at much cost. Oh my gosh, it's a lot cheaper than 500, sure. Very good. Burakazi hands you a ceramic travel cup, which he then fills to the brim with dark-seeming liquid. The scent is intoxicating. Is there anything more that I can get you? Just killing time. I'm inclined to believe that was expensive for coffee, but it's a lot cheaper than 500. And all the way back. I'm guessing it says something along the lines of talisman maker. Kinda wish I could... Nope, you're not who I want to talk to. Where is he? Hi. Forgotten who sold weapons. Great. Hi there. I want to talk to you. Back from my DVD. Turkish coffee. Ah, thank you. Scotty gratefully accepts the coffee, then snaps the lid back and inhales deeply, wiggling his mustache as he processes the scent. Yep, that's the real stuff, alright. Kinda curious what would have happened if I gave him the fake. Scotty gingerly picks up the ancient device from the table and presses it into your hands. The plastic is scuffed and worn, and it rattles a bit when you move it. Give her some good use, okay? Now I go all the way back. Again. All the way back. Right here. Wonder if I should ask if the drone's done. Or if that's too hasty. Kinda like a drone. Oh, I should have put Karma into drone control then. Huh. I got the drone fixed. Any chance? These things, yeah. Things take time. I'm making progress though. Give me a little more. Sorry, I'm impatient. It's a matter of being for me. In we go. And all the way around. You know, for running, I'm inclined to believe you walk fairly slowly. Hi. I has all the things. It seems that Amsel has assembled the team in your absence. They stand in a group around the old display that you had Melee deliver. On their faces you can see excitement and apprehension, curiosity and dread. Lazy Z, have you procured a DVD reader? Hand Amsel it. Good, this should only take me a moment. Amsel disappears behind the ancient display. After a few minutes of fiddling with its spattered inputs, he reappears, a satisfied look on his face. Everything appears to be functional. The disc should be ready to play. Well, don't keep us in suspense. Start the dang thing already. Lazy Z went to the trouble of fetching everything. Let her do the honors. Amsel steps back, clearing a path for you to access the antique machine. If it breaks, Eager's gonna yell at me. Please don't break. A soft whirring sound fills the air as the ancient DVD player spins the disc up to speed. The scratched LCD display comes to life in a menu. We'll go down the line. 1. The screen goes black and a cheerful digital chiming sound spills out of the display's speakers. A crackle of static fills the air, coupled with a shrill electronic whine. After a few minutes, the display goes live and a disheveled-looking man appears on the screen. His eyes glitter with excitement. The timestamp on the screen is 2035-09-15, so September 15th. Adrian Vauclair. I don't recognize you. Hermie? I think we found her. After all this time, Fierschwinge? I think that was right. I knew that she wasn't dead. That's not good. Oh dear. Speech is jittery. You can hear the urgency in his voice. She survived the Dragonfall, just as I've always said. I knew it and I was right. The screen explodes into static and the electronic whine in the background sharpens into a needle-like pulse of high-pitched sound. Somewhere in the background, Dante lets out a low whimper. The screen clears and the excited face is closer to the screen than it was before. The words spill out of him in a breathless tide. Taking a team into the socks to retrieve her, the radiation be forgotten. We will have appropriate precautions, of course, but we must go. Hermie, I think that the body may be nearby as well. Somehow she has survived for all of this time. The screen explodes into static again, then clears. The figure flickers across the screen. May not be back for some time. Look after Mom, okay? I worry about her. And Hermie, stay safe out there. I know that things are heating up in Berlin, and I know you. Student protest, civil uprising, you'll be in the middle of it, I'm sure. Just stay safe, alright? And I'll do my best to do the same. I don't know what's going to happen when I step into the socks, but I do know one thing. If the fire wing is still a danger, I will put an end to her, once and for all. The display goes black, and the background whine fades away. A moment later, you find yourself deposited back to the menu screen. On to track 2. The screen goes black for a moment, and then a figure appears on the screen. Your late client, Green Winters. His elbow is planted on the table that he's seated at, and his chin rests on his palm. The other hand is wrapped around a bottle of cheap whiskey. The timestamp on the video reads 2053. So, 20 years later? 20 in a handful of months? Found the message Adrian left me all those years ago. Got it cleaned up as best I could. Strange hearing his voice again. He pauses to take a long pull in the bottle. It's good to hear him, even if he did insist on calling me Hermie. Dr. Adrian Vauclair, the hero of the people, the Dragon Slayer. That's how I knew it. My brother. He grimaces and rubs his eyes. Hard to believe it's been almost 20 years. Alright, so I'm going to start recording these DVDs again. For me, for Adrian, for whoever might wind up watching them. Every time I do this, it winds up feeling like a waste of time. But I keep doing it anyway, on the off chance that I'll find something important. If I stumble onto the clue that leads me to my brother, I know that I'm gonna want it on film. I've been doing this for almost 20 years now, after all. No sense in quitting now. Christ, 20 years. All this time and still no leads. Even with all my contacts and my resources. He takes another long swallow of the cheap liquor. Even with my legendary bullheadedness, I've made no progress at all. I haven't turned up a single thing. Want to hear something funny? The closest thing I've gotten to a clue was a rumor. Apparently a team emerged from the socks a while back. Nobody's clear on the days, but get this. He leans into the camera and gives a conspiratorial wink. Again with the conspiracies. Supposedly they vanished without a trace. He upends the bottle, drains it, slams it back down to the table. His eyes are rimmed with red. Not much of a rumor, considering I already know that you're gone, big brother. I live with that every day. Abruptly, Winter leans forwards and reaches for something off screen. Display goes black. A few minutes later, you're on the main menu. 3. There is a grinding sound from the DVD tray, and Green Winter's image appears on the screen. There is an eager look on his face. Timestamp on the video reads 2054, so almost a year later. Stumbled upon this archival footage of Fierschwings? original attack, months before the Dragonfall. Easy to forget how devastating it was. Adrian saved a lot of people by bringing her down. Got the footage all queued up to play. Starting it now. Additional comments to follow. Slow whir of the DVD player shifts to a high-pitched whine. A distorted, wavering image blooms into being on the screen. Timestamp in the upper right corner of the screen marks the date, July 6, 2012. It's difficult to make out what you're seeing at first. The screen is dark and smoky, the telltale flashes of emergency vehicles flickering on the periphery of the screen. The camera pushes in and you can make out two figures standing in a ruined landscape. All at once, sound cuts in. Again, for those of you just joining us, we are coming to you live from Stolberg. A few hours ago, the Dragon Feuerschwing launched an unprovoked attack on the sleepy Harz mountain town, and you can see the results behind me: fire, ashes, and blood. We are joined tonight by a survivor of this latest and most horrifying attack. The reporter turns to face a pale man standing behind him. Sir, I understand that you've been through a terrible ordeal. Thanks for taking the time to speak with us tonight. Camera switches, focus to a middle-aged man with a haunted look in his eyes. Stammers out a reply. Yes, of course. If you could, sir, could you please tell the people at home about your experience of the attack? It was horrible. Just pure chaos. So many people are dead. People I knew, roasted alive or trampled to death trying to escape. My own house was burned to the ground during the attack. My family, we have nothing now. You all made it through the attack, though. Your wife, your kids? Yeah, we all made it, thank God. We rode out the attack in a small shelter. Me, my wife, and our 2 daughters. The shelter, it protected us, but the heat was just unbearable. We couldn't have stayed in there much longer than we did. How long were you holed up in there? 3, maybe 4 hours? I don't know. We just stayed inside until the heat died down and the screaming stopped. What happened after that? When it was over, when the air cooled down. The reporter nods and the man continues. We stepped outside. There was nothing left, just smoldering wreckage and this dense cloud of black, oily smoke. And that stench in the air. God, that smell. It smelled like roasting meat. There's a long pause. From the tortured look on his face, you can tell that the man is struggling to decide whether or not to continue speaking. Eventually, he does. My girls, they found what was left of their nanny outside. Her body, what was left of it, was slumped against the shelter door. I kept telling myself that I couldn't hear her pounding to get in. But that isn't true. I could. I just couldn't bring myself to open the door. I couldn't risk my family like that. Not for her. Not for anyone. Thank you, sir, for taking the time to speak with us. Yeah. You heard it here, an absolutely chilling account of tonight's attack. Again, the town of Stolberg has been reduced to ash, another victim of the fire wing. Stay with us for more up-to-the-minute reporting on Feuerschwing's reign of terror. Green Winter's face reappears on the screen. Okay, it's time for a new approach. Adrian's a complete dead end, but that much is pretty clear by now. So I'm going to do some digging on Feuerschwing instead. Let's see where this goes. The screen abruptly goes black as the video cuts off. A few moments later, you find yourself returning to the main menu. Track 4. The DVD player ramps up to speed, filling the air with a shrill sound. Green Winter's image appears on the screen. Timestamp on the video reads 2054. Isn't it the same day as the last one? Well, that was a bust. Little progress on the Feuerschwinge either. He shakes his head. I don't know. It's weird. The information is there. It's just wrong somehow. It's too well laid out. Too simple. Real life is messy, and this feels just a little too neat. That's not the only thing that's nagging at me. I'm getting that tingly feeling all up and down the back of my neck again. Feels like I'm being tracked. I'm no Matrix hotshot like Clockwork or Schaefer, but I'm good enough to know when someone's on my scent. Gotta install some new security measures. Can't be too careful. Disappears again. Track 5. Face of Green Winters on the screen. He's seated at a computer. Off to his left, the enormous monitor fills the screen. His voice carries an edge of panic. Timestamp on the video is... So that's only... Let's see, it was... What, 20? The day was 25, 30 something? So this is only a few days later than the last one. Whoa! You got... raggedy and paranoid looking fast. Christ, I'm getting too close to something. There's a trail of bodies. There's been disappearances. Gearbox, Marcina, Peregrine. They've all disappeared within the past few years. Gearbox just went AWOL yesterday, and they were all making the same sort of inquiries about the Fire Wing that I've been. There are ghost stories spreading around the Decker community. Stories about Deckers disappearing and then showing up again later, but wrong somehow. Scary stuff, and I'm starting to think it's true. Oh. Now this is interesting. Oh, wait, no. This is to me. Never mind. Blitz leans in to whisper to you. I know the stories he's talking about, Chief. Never really put much stock into them until now. Could these rumors be related to what's happening here? Am I being paranoid? He pauses for a moment, as if seriously considering the question. Then he shakes his head and slams his fist on the table. No, I don't think so. Something big is happening here. I'm right in the middle of it. Igor cuts in. That's a bit of a leap. One other thing. Tolstoy told me a story about a killed team that might be related to all of this. Apparently a Decker named Helibor posted a theory about Führerschwinge to the Shadowrun BBS about 5 years ago. About an hour later, a mil-spec team showed up in meat space and cooked her entire apartment, with her in it. If what Tolstoy told me was true, Helibor live posted the event. She described her killer, this great big orc with skin grafts. Oh, now isn't that familiar sounding? Then the whole threat disappeared, gone without a trace. Leap, Eager love? Sounds like he's on the right track to me. Eager holds her silence, but concedes the point with a small nod. On the screen, Winters pauses. He looks like he's working up to something. Finally, he speaks. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. This has gotta be about Führerschwinge. All of it. Adrian was right about her. She's still alive, and she's out of the socks. She's covering her tracks, working the shadows, preparing to rise again. That means that I have to find you, Adrian. For everyone's sake. Thankfully, I've got a lead. For the first time in 2 decades, I've got a solid lead. I've backtracked all of the Matrix nodes that Helibor was looking into, back before she got cooked. Whoever's been purging the Matrix didn't think about that. I found that she turned up. Winters stabs a few keys on his keyboard, and an image expands to full screen on his monitor. A satellite photo of a rural landscape, annotated with GPS data. A set of map coordinates. So now I've got a target. A place to start digging. The Harfield Manor. That's where we were. Conveniently located on an isolated stretch of countryside, miles away from prying eyes. Matrix records indicate that some sort of data vault exists beneath the estate, so that's what I need to get into. And this is where we came in. As if on cue, a familiar image winks onto the monitor to Winter's left. Monica. I think I'm going to tap Schaefer for this job. She's got the skill to bypass whatever security they're running out there, and she's gullible enough to take the job in the first place. I'll feed her some line about Flux State security, and she'll eat it up with a spoon. I warned her. Amsel's voice is choked with rage. I warned her. On the display, Winter's mouth parts with a bored grin. Time to put plans into motion. This time tomorrow night, I should have the information I need. And on the off chance that Schaefer gets taken out, well, that'll tell me something too. Can't make an omelet and all that. Until then. Winter's image disappears, and we play track 6. When you play the 6th track, a small video window appears. You recognize the screen in the window. You are looking at the tattered drapes and nicotine-stained wallpapers of Winter's hotel room at Das Kessel House. The timestamp on the video reads 2054, 11:10. It's like a day later. A day or a month, I don't remember now. There's a blur of motion, and the haggard form of Green Winter slumbers into frame. Suspicions confirmed. Schaefer dead. Christ. Winters reaches a shaking hand off camera. A moment later, it returns clutching a cheap plastic drinking glass. He gulps something down, wipes his mouth with the back of his hand, takes a deep breath. Okay. Back up, slow down, start from the beginning. Winter closes his eyes and takes a visible effort to calm himself. When he speaks again, his voice is steady. Got the call from my contact in the Kreutz Bazaar. Schaefer killed on the estate run. Matrix security at the estate cooked her brain. Considering Schaefer's skill and experience on site, IC must have been extreme, even by Berlin standards. Security of that kind costs money. Real money. Given the evidence uncovered so far, corporate involvement unlikely. Connection to the fire wing is too strong. So, let's come right out and say it. The dragon is what we're dealing with here, and the smart money says that she's coming for me next. Well, I won't go down without a fight. I've still got my contacts, still got my connections. The flux state can be a hell of a weapon for the man who knows how to manipulate it. Winter takes another long pull from his glass, grimaces and swallows. Time for me to make my play. Ghost stories or no, missing Deckers or no, I've got to jack into the Matrix and start pulling strings. The countermeasures that I installed earlier should be more than enough to keep me safe for the 20 minutes I'll be in there. Winters drains the rest of the glass and tosses it back over his shoulder. A moment later, you hear the dull clattering sound of hard plastic on linoleum. Schaefer's death was tragic. She was a staunch supporter of the F state, but still, all things considered. Winter fishes for something off screen. A moment later, his hand reappears clutching a Dajak cable. Better her than me. He plugs the cable into his head. The screen cuts to static. And we all know how that ended. As your finger nears the eject button, the black screen cuts in over the static. A moment later, Green Winter's haggard face appears. If you're watching this, then I guess they caught up to me. They will be after you too now. Blitz whispers into your ear again, more harshly this time. What the hell is this? Why didn't you warn me about this before I came here? Not now. We didn't know. Not exactly. Not exactly? I didn't come here to get hunted by a dragon. I'm not even a part of this. You are now, whether you like it or not. So quiet down and stop bothering her. Whoever you are, whatever you think you're after, you need to find Dr. Adrian Vauclair. Not because he's my brother, because if Fjordschwing is rising again, he's the only one who can stop her. You've seen what happened to the people who get too close to this. I'm dead and dozens of others have died. You'll be next unless you find Adrian. The screen cuts back to static. The message is over. The DVD tray slides out of the reader. That is actually really worrying, all things considered, about my character's safety. Oh, this isn't gonna end well. Oh, hi. The room goes quiet as everyone struggles to process what you've seen on the DVD. Finally, Dietrich breaks the silence. A dragon. Gosh darn it. Green Winters sent us up against a dragon. The fire wing. Amsel's voice is thick with dread. She lives. I'm really starting to regret the fact that I didn't just stay at the hotel. Igor ignores him. Hi, bird. Wait a second. We don't know for certain. Dietrich lays a hand on Igor's shoulder. The evidence seems pretty convincing to me, love. I'll even take it a step further. I think that security facility that we stumbled into was her lair. Oh. Oh, no wonder Monica fried so quickly. The room falls silent, and Eager and Gloria exchange glances. After a moment, Dietrich continues. Just think about it. The Decker that Winters got those coordinates from was posting about Führerschwinge. Then she was killed by the same orcish person that attacked us after Monica died. That's a direct link between the dragon, that scarred orc, and the Harfield Manor. And then Winters was killed by the same thing that killed Monica. Exactly. My gut tells me that that dragon is down there, Lazy Z, someplace far beneath the surface. I think that we knocked on the door to her lair without even knowing it. And I think that given what we've seen, the dragon will do whatever it takes to keep us quiet about it. Okay, going on the assumption that there is a dragon, and that she will come after us, what do you propose we do about this? Tell you what we're going to do. We're going to follow Winter's advice. We're going to find Beauclair. So we keep things simple. Head back there, kick the door, kill the dragon. Anyone have any suggestions? All of these options are going to have backlash. If I tell them that we're going to find Beauclair, they're going to tell me he's dead. If I tell them that we're going to kick it in, they're going to tell me we're dead. If I ask, they'll probably see it as a sign of weakness. There's no right answers. Oh, what is there ever in life? Let's see. Any suggestions? What we need is information. I think we should pick up where Winters left off. We need to find Beauclair. And how are you planning to do that? Winters spent 20 years searching for him, and it got him nowhere. And the help of an information with the help of an information broker. I'll go talk to Old Tug then. Let me guess back to coffee. Have any suggestions, Old Tug? For this? No. While Herr Burakazi is very capable, a task of this magnitude is beyond him. We need to make contact with the premier information broker in Berlin. We need to talk to Alice. Blitz scoffs at Emsel. Alice? Best of luck, and I hope that you're rich. Emsel raises an eyebrow. For this? Rich enough, even if only just. Who is this Alice? A most prominent figure in Berlin's shadow community. Ex-Schockwellenreiter. She provides information retrieval services for the F-State. Amsel turns to the... Oh, right, I found out last time what Schockwellenreiter is. It's kind of fairly obvious to English, but it's something along the lines of shockwave writer. Anyway, not the point. Amsel turns to the computer console behind him and runs his fingers over the virtual keyboard. The machine begins to whir. If Winters was right, if Beauclair is alive, she can help us find him. The console spits out a stick of black plastic. Amsel plucks it from the computer and hands it to you. Here, your key to speak with that, Alice. Cred stick? Amsel nods. An encoded cred stick, yes. 10,000 new yen. Alice will not show her face for less. This represents the last of my personal savings, Lazy Z. Make this meeting count. Where do I need to go? Just to talk to her? Sounds like a fair trade to me. Where do I need to go? Take the U-Bahn to the Altstadt Spandra? Oh, I don't know. There you will find a connecting tube that the locals refer to as the rabbit hole. So we're finding Alice in Wonderland. You'll find a method of connecting Alice there. Don't call it that in front of her, though. Word on the street is that she hates it. Please hurry. While you're out, I'll work on acquiring new contacts for the team. Alice is the best there is at what she does, and her service carries a price tag to match. Oh dear. Let me quickly look at my stuff, so that way I can tell what I can pick up and sell. Let me just cram stuff in here so I can grab stuff. Items. That's what it's on. I need you. Yeah. I'm not gonna use you. Leave me alone. Just want to sell you. Confirm. Oh, this is going to be difficult in days to come. Oh, I really hope Sir Ibis will be here to help me with strategies. God knows that I need help with it. But, on that note, the heat drought!